reason I wanted to do Jupiter, besides it being a wonderful thing to be with for a couple of weeks, is that Saturn is in Sagittarius, and so we're heading. So Jupiter is really, it's a time where we want to activate it in the best possible way. We don't want to miss it. It's easy to miss its depth somehow. I notice, the common sentence, "Oh, I had a great Jupiter aspect and nothing happened," or that kind of thing. So, or what am I? I'm supposed to be lucky at this, but my Jupiter, etc. And I think Jupiter is one of those planets that one has to. Perhaps it's true for all of them. I know it's true for Venus, and I know it's true for Jupiter. They must be consciously honored. The dimension that used to be represented by Zeus, by Jupiter, by Hadad, by Marduk, they've always been consciously engaged with, and in our secular material world that's not the case. So I'd like to bring it alive, so we don't, while Saturn is in Sagittarius particularly, we do the work, we honor Jupiter, not the work, but we honor Jupiter in the way that brings us that which that dimension is there for. Okay. Oops, now. So I use this, don't I? Is that it? Yeah. No, that's not what I want. I want this. Yeah, that's it. Okay. John's taught me this, but I'm a slow learner. So obviously one of the first things we always remember is that Jupiter is absolutely huge compared to the others. That's Pluto. And this is us, little blue-green planet. But look at the size of it. It's so big. And did they know that? Venus appeared bigger in the sky, but somehow Jupiter was the high god, the great god always. Okay? So this is very early, about 2000 BC, Hadad and Baal, very early images from Arcadia, and they're Semitic. And the one on the left, he was the lord of the gods, I'm looking at, and he was an Anatolian storm god. Now this is really interesting. I've just noticed this recently, that often he's connected lightning, we know all of that, storm god, early on. But I think he had a lot to do with the weather. I really do. I think that because the weather has always been so important, it seems less in a city, though nowadays we might not say that anymore, but I think the weather, people had to pay attention to the weather so much that the god of the weather, I don't know, there was some connection that I haven't quite worked out. So I think the fact that he's so powerfully connected with it. And the one on the right is about 1500 BC, and he's called Baal. And those of you who know the Old Testament, Baal is the pagan, it's not even pagan, is the god that is the foreigners bring in. And Yahweh is the real God, and Baal is this bad god, somehow. So there's something about he's here. He's got a thunderbolt. He's again he's god of the weather, and it's 1500 BC, so it's 3000 to 4000 BC that he's already the dimension that is represented, that becomes Jupiter, becomes Zeus and becomes Jupiter, is fierce weather. The one on the right, Baal, he has 50 names, and he's the most powerful deity. He represents sheer force and the weather.